So in between the summer of my sophomore and junior year, if that makes sense, uh, I wanted to gather up all the boys and get their girlfriends as well, so then we could go on a triple date because we all had egos back then, and we thought, hey, what's the worst that can happen, you know? So what proceeds to happen is I go on Snapchat and I message them, hey, I have this idea for a date. It's going to be downtown, 4th of July. We'll be able to watch the fireworks. Maybe there'll be a music performance, but, if anything does happen, we'll make it up along the way. And I was really into going into downtown for some reason. I think I slightly still am, but uh, yeah, that's besides the point. Anyways, all the boys eventually agree to it. So then, yeah, we eventually try to ask our girlfriends if they can come as well. And, 2 days before, we all got the green light and we thought this was going to happen. And then, the closer and closer that we got, we found out that there was a lot of issues, right? So, my girlfriend at the time, she ended up bailing on me, or at the very least, she was like, hey, my mom is not comfortable with going downtown. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll be the one third wheel for like 2 dates, I guess. And then I hear from the group chat that one of our friends, we'll just call him Josh, Josh's boyfriend, wait, fuck, Josh's girlfriend, essentially said, hey, my mom won't allow me to go because allegedly, and this was Josh speaking, there was actually no confirmation of this. He said, hey, uh, because I have already been hanging out with my girlfriend this entire time before the like triple date, my girlfriend's mom basically decided to cut it off and tell us, hey, you can't go out with that boy anymore because you guys have been hanging out too much, and please stay home for the 4th of July. So, yeah, Josh ended up without a date as well. Now, truth be told, this is not the first time that we've been in this situation before. It's kind of funny, but there was this other time when something similar, not exactly, basically occurred where it was two third wheels, so I guess like a third and fourth wheel, and then uh, our boy, let's just call him, I don't know, Simon. Simon basically he invites us along for his date, and then that's how like the other third and fourth wheel date happened. But otherwise, this is not the first time that this has happened. So we were kind of bummed out, but we all thought, hey, we'll work around it. So eventually, I meet up with Simon, Josh, and Simon's girlfriend is also there, and we think, hey, uh, this event actually hasn't started yet. We arrived very early, and the most that was happening was like the music performance. They got like a bunch of local bands together in order to perform, but otherwise we weren't really interested. So we think, hey, we'll just explore the rest of the downtown, and then if anything fun happens, we'll engage with it. Window shopping and all. So we make our way all the way to downtown, and we don't really think that there's much to really do. Um, yeah, we were kind of just walking around the entire time. You go into like the strip malls, you go into like the Hot Topic, you go into like the Target or like the Walgreens or like whatever is literally around you, right? Eventually, um, we kind of all agree, hey, we're kind of hungry. Well, not hungry. We're all thirsty, and I kind of was on the fence about spending money. I don't remember why. It was probably because like I don't know, like oh, I want to build up good habits for spending money. But what proceeds to happen is we try to search all of downtown, or at least we walk into the stores and try to search for water. And turns out um, we just didn't think about going into a restaurant and asking for water. Instead, we went into like the 7-Eleven or like the CVS in order to buy our water. Um, and we didn't find anything for a while. because turns out buying water downtown is like very expensive. Like the most that we had was Fiji water or like, sparkling water, just like some water alternative. But then eventually we make it into the CVS, and we buy a jug of water, like a gallon of water, because in my head I thought, hey, this is actually pretty cheap compared to all the other options that we've seen, and also it's a gallon of water. This is gonna be like a good amount of water that we could just like share amongst us. So we do exactly that. Um, we bought it, went out to the street, and then we distributed the water amongst us. Some of us waterfalling, the others just like, I don't know, filling up their water bottle, if I remember correctly. And then we headed back to the event area where you could watch the fireworks happen. So as we make it back to the venue, I guess, I should have mentioned before, but basically there's a bunch of like security and like fencing to prevent like, I guess, like random homeless people from like attacking the crowds. But also there's like a whole entire process that needs to be done. Basically you walk through like one of the entrances and then they like scan you for like any metal and then make sure that you're not bringing any like outside alcohol and stuff like that. And yeah, we walk right through the entrance and then they say, hey, you can't bring this water in. And we thought, oh no, that's kind of disappointing. Like maybe we could talk our way out of this. Like, hey, this is water that we just bought. It's from the CVS. I can like give you the receipts. And they were still like, yeah, rules are rules. You can't really do anything about that. So yeah, at this point, Simon and his girlfriend have already passed through the entrance, and me and Josh, we're just stuck there, and I get this clever idea. It was the greatest idea of all time. I thought, hey, what if we just tried to like drink this entire gallon of water? Now, keep in mind that even though we distributed the water amongst ourselves, it was probably like one third, not one third, 3/4 of the way full. So, yeah, I end up turning to Josh and I'm like, hey, Josh, you want to crazy bet, but you think you and me alone can finish all this water? And he said, yo, why not? I got you. So then he takes the first sips. He gets down maybe like, I don't know, gets it down all the way to halfway. And then I take the water and then I drink it. And I probably get like, the jug was remaining with like 1/4 or like 1/3 of the jug left. And then at this point, we're all just kind of like forcing water. We probably get like a few more sips in, and then all of a sudden, this like feeling of like, man, this is like that feeling where you drink too much water hits us, and then, yeah, a sickness kind of comes over us, and then now we end up exiting, or like we get out of the entrance gates, and then we go around the back. What I mean by that is like there is a I guess like a corner that was created by the entrance, which was just like a few tents, and then there was some fences that helped to like make like this corner, I guess. So we go around to the corner, and then me and Josh, we just proceed to just vomit all the water that we had just drank. And on my end, it felt like it was a waterfall. It was just one solid stream of just pure, well, it wasn't pure water. It was actually water mixed in with like, like your bile or like whatever thing that like I was eating in the morning. Like I could literally see my breakfast in there, even though it was like probably like 5 or 6 p.m. by then. And then for Josh, on the other hand, he kind of like bursts, he just like blah, blah, blah. And at that point, we were just kind of like super delirious. And then I just think, okay, we cannot drink any more water. I'm dumping the rest of this out. And yeah, that allows us to get through the entrance. Now we get through the entrance and Simon is there and is like, yo, what took you guys so long? And then we're all just kind of like laughing, but also just like, grossed out. We're just like, yo, we just drank a bunch of water and just vomited all of it. The gallon that I just bought. And then Simon's kind of there. He's like somewhat disappointed, but he's also just like, oh, okay, I guess. He wanted to join in with us. Like he was like, yo, you should have told me, and then I would have like drank it with you guys. But otherwise, on his end, he just noticed that there was like water hitting the ground somewhere. And then after hearing our story, he puts two and two together, and it was just me and Josh who were like vomiting our guts out onto the grass. So somehow, keep in mind, Simon's date is also just standing there, just casually. She's just kind of like not grossed out by this, and she just accepts it, I guess. I still to this day do not know like what her impression of me and like I guess the rest of us was. But basically, we're all just kind of like, so what do we do now? And we all decide, hey, we'll just keep walking around. So we're walking around, and this entire like feeling of like sickness, I think for me it was specifically like a metallic taste where I just like for some reason said, hey, I just hate water right now. Just like hit the entire time. And what didn't help is that as we were walking around, we end up finding that there were water bottle filling stations or just like water stations in general. And, big feeling of disappointment. Oh no. On on Josh's end, on the other hand, he's kind of like on the verge of like giving up. Like for him, I don't know if it was like a long day, but like the water thing just like entirely wiped him out. He did not like it, and like he was just kind of like on low battery the entire time. Me on the other hand, I was trying to like tough my way through. Eventually, it's time for us to sit down. So we sit down in like a grass area. It's like very crowded. Imagine like a whole entire grass field full of people with like fences and trees and stuff like that. And we spend the rest of the evening just watching the performance and then fireworks, and then it started to rain. So then me and Josh, we decide to walk off. So then Simon can like spend like some alone time with like him and his girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure like one of them kissed the other, and yeah, overall not the most successful date in history, but I think that, it wasn't it wasn't the worst. I think the last thing that I remember about this encounter was I for the next few days I had to drink tea in order to get rid of like just to still hydrate myself, but also because like if I drank normal water, it just felt too weird to me. Like it just felt too metallic and like unbearable. The other thing was that I was pretty bummed out because it was only just me and the boys who could experience that, and it was like I really wanted to I know this sounds really, really, weird, but I thought it would have been really funny if like my girlfriend at the time was gonna like see it. So I tried to tell her eventually over the phone, and she was kind of weirded out the entire time. But yeah, there's a reason why we're not together anymore, but it's not that. And additionally, me and Josh, we brought pocket knives. I don't know why, but we thought like, oh, it's Denver. We gotta be tough. We were actually just like, yeah, we were probably just like big edge lords at the time. But we tried to hide our knives like under the fence at some point. And after the event ends, we go back to the exact area where we hid our pocket knives, and they were gone, and we were kind of sad. So yeah, um, that was the time that I got water poisoning.